You're watching Soccer Night in Detroit.
Welcome. It's me, Hannah Crum, with two legends.
Okay, me, Steve.
Steve.
And Mad Cat.
And Matt Cat.
This guy right here. Every time you score, he has to play this song for you every time, every single time. David, he appears. I believe in Derek. Let's go.
All right, back at it again, and after last week, there's all kinds of stuff going on. All kinds of stuff going on. It's another crazy week in the world of soccer.
Yeah, all kind of dramas on the pitch, off the pitch, and everywhere, you know what I mean? But we should begin our show because you, on the Facebook page, posted news on one of our ex-Detroit female patriots.
Yes, I want to start with some good news for a change.
Okay.
Remember our Ella Carolak?
Yes, I do remember her.
Played with us last year on the USLW squad. She has found a home in the Irish leagues, playing for Irish club Sligo Rovers. So she found a spot over there. Of course, I had fun with her last year, and Hannah over down in Toledo. That was a little fun. That was a fun interview.
I know, the always entertaining Hannah Crum and Dave DeWendy was still the coach there, but you know.
Yes, it was a fun time. You know, fun times. One of my favorite moments down in Toledo. But yeah, congratulations to her as she is now a member of that organization, Sligo Rovers, in the Irish League. So and I believe she played a couple games for us in the earlier during the season on the women's side.
You're right. Well, these girls are calendar girls, must I say. They run, they score, they shout, they celebrate. You know that.
And also, they find some good homes elsewhere as far as playing professionally. So it's a good sign. It's a good sign for the Detroit City FC organization as far as that goes. I mean, we're out to find they're out to find talent, and good talent at that, and the best talent sometimes moves on and to bigger and better things.
I remember Cindy Spoonquist, who's now the associate assistant coach at Gulf Lake University, you know, the one in Florida. She traveled all over the world playing soccer. The one player who left us before the playoffs, she's playing soccer overseas, so that is very good.
So yeah, and like I said, I mean, we're basically a launch pad now, which is a good thing. You know, I mean, it's a good thing, especially for an amateur organization, such as the women's squad is. So, I mean, great news there. Best of luck and congratulations going out to Ella Carolak.
Yeah. Well, this week is a big week. We have our kit reveal night tomorrow night. I will be down there covering it. That you will see the guys wearing their Alumni 5 best, but Detroit City included a video yesterday, and tongue-in-cheek, they have a secondary sponsor for the sleeve.
Yes, indeed. Motor City Casino has signed a multi-year deal with Detroit City FC to be a kit sponsor, a sleeve sponsor for all clubs in DCFC.
I know. Well, I was just kind of impressed, and I'm just kind of worried about Friendly. Did you see him? He was just having a fun on the crap table, like unbelievable.
We will not go to him for our picks this year. Let's just put it that way. Even though we are bad ourselves. Speaking of picks, we'll have picks later on.
I hope it's a one-time deal. I hope he's not addicted. You know what I mean? We'll be there for you, Friendly. By the way, we'll be there for you, Friendly. Don't worry. No matter what station, we will see you. saying "Yo LaRouge" or "Hey LaRouge," something like that.
More news about that CBA. Both sides back to negotiations today. Interesting article came about, and I shared this with you, and I'm going to go to that in a little bit here. Interesting article came out last night, and this is from the this is from Phoenix, as a matter of fact. One of the supporter writers out there, trying to get his Owain Evans, I believe it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
I want to get the source proper here. So, but um, he met with Connor Tobin. And of course, Connor Tobin was on our program a couple months ago. We were talking about this was a couple months ago. Hard to believe December. It was the last
oh
time we took, and of course um, things of note. Talk about the contract. Prior to its expiration. Well, now we're literally 2 days away from Lexington and Louisville opening up the season. So this is what Evans wrote on his blog. Top player union official refused to rule out strike action impacting the opening weekend of the USL Championships 2026 regular season. Connor Tobin, executive director of the USL Players Association, told PHNX that everything is possible regarding a work stoppage as soon as this weekend. Now, right now, from what I'm understanding, is that both sides are meeting right now with a mediator to try to hash these out. Everything we laid out for you, go back to our special edition of Soccer Night in Detroit from Friday night. Lot of things on the table as far as that goes. Mainly with the wage structure, the buyout clauses on some of these deals as well. They're far apart as far as that goes. They're still hammering out issues as far as healthcare goes. A plethora, like I said, a plethora of topics that that they seem apart on. And like I said, they're working with a mediator right now.
And right now, the only batching they're doing is via social media. The USLPA, hours after the USL put their statement on Instagram, which was the only time, broke it down with could we say a fine-tooth comb, sort of.
Yes, they did. And USL also came out with a statement. They actually released something, as a matter of fact, and I shared this with you
I had to read it on the
earlier
walk
this
home.
morning.
Yeah, I had to read it on the walk home.
Yes, I shared that with you as well. Let's see here. So their labor update, basically the same things that we reiterated about, but let me get a couple more highlights there. The progress that they have made was the mandated 12-month contracts. They increased significant increases in minimum base compensation. And mentioned that every club must offer health insurance. They mentioned that.
Uh-huh.
So now we're getting into the little area of he said, she said here.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So, and then, trying to play both sides of this thing, trying to be fair and balanced. Not Fox News
Both,
fair, but we're trying to be fair and balanced here.
both teams are trying to move one side or other and asking who is saying who. It's just like, do we have a
And
read?
that's
Or
why we got the federal mediator in this conversation right now. So the hope is we play on Friday.
yes.
The hope is we play on Friday.
Uh-huh.
Right now, it depends on it, and the thing is, the two sides have to still come into agreement because we're still playing under the rules of the old CBA here.
Uh-huh.
Also, the fact is, they don't want it to get into an impasse. If it gets into an impasse, then we're in a world of hurt.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
Yeah. So that's why these negotiations are going on right now with the federal mediator. And uh, here's the thing with the Players Association. A lot of the thought, you and I both thought and I think a majority, I don't know, there might be a few people that thought as well that how can USL afford this? How can the USLPA afford a strike?
Mm-hmm.
Guess who they're backed by?
Venture capitalists.
No, I'm talking to
No.
players. I'm talking to players. Guess who they're backed by?
Who they're backed by?
Communication Workers of America.
Oh, the CWA. That's all
Yes.
cool. That's all cool.
So as far as funding goes for the players, should they decide to strike, they have one of the top labor unions in the country backing them up
Oh.
as far as strike fund goes.
Uh-huh.
So, and of course, this USLPA is a viable branch of the AFL-CIO as well.
Oh yeah.
So, and the CWA, as I mentioned, is one of the top labor unions in this country.
I
So,
know.
so the thing is with that, like I said, they do have the funds to sustain a strike should that happen.
Uh-huh.
So, um, like I said, right now is the question: when's it gonna if it happens, when's it gonna happen? And like I said, the only thing I can see here at this point is if both sides come to an impasse with these negotiations, and we're hoping that this is not the case.
Well, let's hope it's not the case because if they don't get a deal and if the impact to declare the impact it's breaking up, it's hard to do in intense negotiations like this one, literally.
Exactly, especially you're going into a season, going into the start of the season right now, and Open Cup, and all kinds of things going on right now. I mean, these are things that cannot be, like I said, these are things that could be lost if these negotiations break down to an impasse.
I know. Speaking of which, I want to address one thing because on the top of it did the union did address the USL Premier, the new Division One league. And the players claimed they did not had no idea about the Player One League. It's been
They
on.
were what was going on. From what the union's been telling us is USL HQ has been going forward with bigger plans while not resolving the plans or not resolving the situations that they're having inside the championship. And of course, we got I believe. Did I say this year was the end of the League One contract, or was it?
Yeah,
I think I
27,
was reading 2027
2027
as
is
well.
the end of the 2027 is the end of the League One contract. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that because I was
Thank
reading
you.
that as well because I wanted to double make sure. I thought it was this year. Apparently, it was
Yeah.
apparently it's next year. So
Yeah.
at the end of the 2027 season, and this like I said, whatever happens here is going to be they're going to be looking at that towards that contract for the USL League One, especially with things going on. And of course, we talked about South Georgia Tormenta and their situation. And of
I
course,
know.
many a situation of many a clubs that have folded. Texoma, another example.
San Diego Loyal,
No, no, no.
Rainbow
I'm
Range
talking just
Valley.
League One. I'm talking just League One.
Okay. Oh, sorry. League One.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
just talking League One. Teams that have folded as of late in that league. So, um, you know, whatever goes on in the USL Championship is going to probably reflect those negotiations as well.
I
And then
know.
with the
Well,
USL trying to get those ambitions in, Pro Rel, Division One, all that fun stuff. That's a slap in the face, you think, to the USLPA. Is like, okay, you got all these ambitions. How are we going to be taken care of in the long run?
yeah.
So, needless to say, keep up on this union situation as we go along here. And whatever news comes up, we'll let you know.
Well, if you probably been following the USL Facebook page, they're still signing players. They're still doing preseason matches and all that. And you sent me a very interesting signing, which is when I read it,
An interesting trialist.
you got to be kidding. El Paso Locomotive sign from Richmond
No, he
FC.
didn't sign yet. He's a trialist.
He's a trialist, but it's been making news. The guy known as Danny Rodas. or the guy who played Danny Rodas in Ted Lasso
Crystal
on Apple TV.
Fernandez has been training not only with El Paso Locomotive.
Yes,
Apparently, he's been training with the Chicago Fire 2 team
in MLS
and
Next Pro.
also Ford Madison.
Oh my God!
So he's been trialing with these clubs. The
Oh my
latest has been
God!
El Paso Locomotive. And there's been rumors that El Paso might be signing him.
Yeah, you probably know he played Danny Rodos on Ted Lasso. He does have previous soccer playing performance. He was a young under 15 player, but gave it up after 2 back-to-back knee surgery and decided to go for this acting thing. He studied in Guadalajara, and you
Yeah,
probably
he went
know
to he went to college in Guadalajara, and just decided to do the acting thing. And the thing is Fernandez is 35 years old, not a
that's
spring
kind of
chicken
old.
by any means.
I know.
And
Probably old for an USL standard or any
yeah,
professional soccer standard.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, he's been a trialist at, as I mentioned, in the USL with Ford Madison and El Paso Locomotive. There's been rumors talking about him being signed with Locomotive. If that's the case,
How good is his shot? Unlike Danny Rodas from Ted Lasso, I heard he have a powerful that could break goalie nose, literally. I was watching compilation of all the Ted Rodas scenes from the Ted Lasso scene. Especially, I remember he said, Danny Rodas, all humming the tune of Live It Up by Casey and the Sunshine Band.
oh, well, I mean, I look at it this way: if El Paso ends up signing him to a contract, I
Ugh.
is it a publicity stunt or is it going to be? I don't know how you would take it as a
Well,
publicity stunt, or is it actual, let's go forward and do this thing.
yeah, well, history have the thing. Mostly they would do it for Easter Fractio. Remember when the Detroit Tigers had Tom Selleck in a couple of exhibition games during spring training? It was for a role in a baseball movie. So I can't remember the name of the baseball movie right now, but
Also, too, aren't they still filming Ted Lasso?
season number 5, yes, but it will be focused mostly on the Richmond women's team.
Oh, okay. So there's no word yet if there's going to be a season 6 as far as that goes.
You're right. How surprising that this series is popular, and this was based off a commercial for the NBC Premier League.
Yes,
Look
it
how much
was.
money
Yes,
Dodson.
yes, it was. Featuring
Yes,
Jason Sudeikis.
yes,
All about a promotion for the Premier League. Speaking
yeah.
of
You're right.
which, good segue.
Yes,
It's
but you
been
remember
a
he went to
while.
coaching a football team, although different kind of football.
Yeah, but no.
And yes, there is ties in football. Yeah, there is ties in football. But
Yeah,
yeah, segue.
segue. He's mentioned Premier League. Been a wild couple of days in the Premier League, as a matter of fact. First off,
Midweek madness.
oh well, midweek madness indeed. Yesterday, Liverpool falls to Wolves by a score of 2-1.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So Wolves has, what was it? They've tied Manchester United.
Yes.
Manchester United starting to get back on the they're third right now in the Premier League as far as that goes.
Right.
And then Liverpool loses to them. So Wolves is making a case of maybe getting themselves out of the basement a little bit.
You could say that right now, and because they won their game last Sunday, that means one thing. They're no longer going to be the worst team ever because they were in danger of setting the record which was held by Derby County with 11 points in 2007, 2008. So they have 16 points, but they're
They're 3
4
points.
behind
They're 3 points
relegation.
behind Burnley right now, and they could catch them next week.
You're right. West Ham, 25 points in 18 plays, 2 points behind. Or my team, Nottingham Forest. You're going to disappoint the ghosts of Trevor Francis, man. Oh, my God.
And guess who's 2 points ahead of them?
Tottenham Hotspur, 29.
Tottenham Hotspur, who have not, and I repeat, have not won a game since January 28th. Now, I sent you a thing saying they haven't won a game all year. They haven't won a game all year. They beat Eintracht Frankfurt by a score of 2-0. That was in the Champions League.
Uh-huh.
As far as the Premier League goes, their last win in the Premier League,
What was it?
December 28th against Crystal Palace.
Oh, my.
They have not won a game in the Premier League since.
Oh, brother. That's some bad blood with the fans and the club. Oh, my.
Thomas Frank got the heave ho.
The sack.
Yep. And then there's the new coach has not done it very well either.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
Yeah. So, yeah, Tottenham has, right now it's, from what it looks like, Igor Tudor is on the hot seat right now.
Oh, my.
So, Thomas Frank, he came in, took over for Ange Postecoglou, even though Ange won a trophy with them, however, finished 16th with the club at the end of the year, or at the end of the year last year, despite winning the Europa League.
Oh, yeah.
So, right now, Igor Tudor, him not winning a game except for in Champions League, and of course, you got to win in the Premier League. It's not looking good.
No.
Not looking good right now. Sitting right now in the table, they are right now. They are 4 points away from relegation.
Oh, my. Nothing
And
but
West Ham's starting to come around a little bit.
Yeah.
So, we could see we see a race going on right now as far as the bottom half of the table goes, or the bottom fifth or bottom quarter of the table.
I know. No, brother.
Yeah, it's gotten really, really quite interesting. And then you have Chelsea.
Ugh.
Can we call Chelsea the San Antonio FC of the Premier League?
You could say that. They're all saying, "Oh, Carol, what have you done to me lately, Chelsea?" They lost 2-1 to Arsenal. Arsenal is trying to keep their arm linked to Manchester City. Just last week, between Manchester City get close. It's just sort of like anything you could do. I could do better. I could be better than you. Yes, you can. Okay. Yeah.
They lead the league
Arsenal.
with 7 red cards.
Chelsea?
Yes.
Oh, my.
They are 4th in the league with 65 yellows.
Oh, my.
So, right now, this is... Liam Rossiner has got a problem over there.
I know. And they're in the, quote, playoff line, or the European line. Remember, top 4 go to the Champions League. The 5th is
Which could be top 5. Which could be top 5 based on the coefficient.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They are currently right now 3 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah. After that dud yesterday.
So they could catch them. They are up on them on goal differential. So if Chelsea ends up winning their match, I think their next match is coming up today. So Chelsea beats Aston Villa today. which is going to be pretty hard task, seeing as they'll be at Villa Park for this one.
Number 4,
Yeah, they
51
could they
points.
could they could cinch a top five spot
I
with a
know.
win. But the thing
And,
is, here's another thing. Here's another
okay.
thing. They have not beaten Arsenal in like what, the last 10 matches.
Oh, brother.
So yeah, let's look at the head to head. Um, so Chelsea or Arsenal has won, or the last time Chelsea won a match against Arsenal was back in 2021.
Their calendar, boys, unbelievable. Oh
They
my
have
God.
not beaten Arsenal in 5 years.
Oh my.
Yeah,
And the look what Arsenal is trying to secure the Premier League title, part of their quadruple something, unbelievable.
yeah. So big time problems over there. The problem is with them. They gotta get their. They gotta straighten up and fly right. Let's just put it that way.
I
Because
know.
you know another red card on Sunday, and it ended up costing them the game.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. But don't sneeze now. Manchester United still on their hot streak, unbeaten in 7
Dude
games.
should
They
get his
beat
haircut. The team's polluted. I mean, regardless if they have not won five in a row, I haven't gotten my haircut. Manchester City's won five in a row. I still need to get my haircut, by the way. But otherwise, let it.
my haircut a few months ago, so nothing.
Let it go. Let it go. Well, he's definitely let it go. But Manchester United, they've been playing great football as of late. Michael Carrick has really turned this team around.
I know, and that's the music that make him for a sunny day on the football pitch. It's just like, yeah, he's been awesome. 7 unbeaten, 6 wins, and one draw. By the way, haven't lost. So they
Yeah.
could they be a sleeper this year? I think so.
I mean, whoever falls, they could, if they're not, if two teams up on, ahead of them aren't careful, and they could be the third dog in this fight.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they could be the third dog in this fight. Moving over to Scottish League though, uh, Rangers had a 2-0 lead against Celtic the other morning, and then Celtic came back to equalize them late at Ibrox. That game ended up being a draw. But right now,
Yeah.
for Celtic, they get set for a matchup this afternoon
Yeah, that was
against
disappointing to
against.
watch. It was a great comeback, but honestly, you
This
drove.
this is a
You
game in
didn't get the
hand
win.
that they have. This is a game in hand that they have right now. They're
Oh
taking
yeah,
on Aberdeen this afternoon. Aberdeen's in eighth on the table in the relegation playoff, but they are on the road at Aberdeen, I believe it is.
oh brother.
3 o'clock
Oh.
kickoff on that one. Celtic needs to get back on track on this one
Can
in
they
order to
make up
even
the
have it.
8 points?
That way, they could end up being in second, and they would only be at that point with the win. They would be 5 points behind Hearts.
Coming into the quote promotion relegation group, where all
Yeah.
the top 6 will play each other once, see if they could,
Yeah, Hearts is a heavy favorite right now as far as the betting lines go in the Scottish Premier League with Celtic in second.
I know, and oh brother, that was a little bit disappointed. Fell
Mm.
behind 2-0, got the draw, but that's what it is, a draw. Half win, half loss, and you're just saying, oh brother, we blew it again.
Yes, and speaking of more European news, St. Pauli, I believe, has got themselves above the relegation line
Yeah, they won.
in the Bayern Munich Invitational.
Yeah, they won their game on Saturday. They beat another great team. They got over the 16th place behind a team. It's one of those two teams with the W logo. You know,
Werder Berman.
Werder Berman. Yeah, they're
Werder
in
Berman.
now in 17, 16th place. That qualify you for the promotion relegation playoffs. Now, interesting, last week, Willem Berman made news announcing that they were canceling their brief U.S. tour. They decided to cancel a game they were supposed to play in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but because of all the incident. But guess what? And this was not announced. They also canceled a game, what could have been our international series opponent.
Yeah, I mean it's sad to see, the turmoil and this, the what's been going on here in the United States, especially with the protests in Minneapolis with ICE and all that stuff, the political turmoil that's been going on in this country, that a club such as Werder has decided to forego coming to this country. And it tells you right now the conditions in this country are not safe.
Tell me about it.
And it might translate into one of the countries not participating in the World Cup. Rumors are about that Iran, thanks to what went on Saturday, could potentially draw from the World Cup. And President Taco Cafefe's reaction to that, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. No, he don't. He doesn't give a you know what. You know what I mean? And too bad because remember during the World Cup draw, they almost didn't make it to the draw ceremony. A small Aryan delegation. They thought they would have been barred or something. And some say they would have been playing in Canada, but they're playing in San Francisco. But now
All three
after
of their
what
games are
happened
supposed
on
to be in the United States.
yeah, what happened on Saturday, honestly, I don't blame them.
And this wouldn't be the first time a team has boycotted the World Cup.
Uh-huh.
There's
There
been many a boycotts in the past.
I know. Now the bigger question, you can't have a 47 team tournament. You have to have a replacement team. The most likely team from the Asian Pacific country, the Confederation, to have a team, but one of them are playing the playoff play-in game. So the big question is who?
Iraq would move up into that position. They would find somebody else to play the playoff play-in game.
I know. And when I saw this graphics, it's just, you know what? I called it the World Cup from hell, the draw from hell. This is becoming 100 days out, the World Cup from hell, because we're being aggressor bombing one country. There was an incident in Mexico involving a drug raid that's gone bad, and they don't know if they're going to do the qualifying tournament there. Many things, and they had to delay a final involving Argentina, which is the MOBA. You know what I'm talking about. That was supposed to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
held
yeah. There was supposed to be some kind of tournament. I believe it was was it in Qatar?
Qatar.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're postponing
it was supposed to be
indefinitely.
Spain. It was supposed to be Spain
Yeah,
versus Argentina.
yeah, they were, and because of the region tensions in the Middle East, they decided no, we're gonna hold on to making
They're
sure everything.
postponing it, and there's talk of it coming to the states.
Yeah, at MetLife Stadium. So yeah,
Yeah,
it, like I said,
there.
it's a
I
mess.
think Wembley was a candidate as well.
Yeah, you're right. It's a total mess, literally. You know what I mean? When everybody thought three countries sharing the same World Cup, nobody knew that this would be a total mess, literally.
Well, nobody figured with a certain President Covfefe in President Taco Covfefe being in charge that now it's become,
A
I would
mess.
say worse than what could have been imagined in Russia with Putin in charge, what could have been
Yeah,
imagined in Qatar
yeah.
with all the um, sanctions there. Um, yeah, it's it's not looking good.
No, it's a total mess.
And I kept saying don't turn this into the 1936 Olympics. That's my hope.
Unfortunately, it may turn into the 1936 Olympics. Oh, brother. I'm a little embarrassed. Oh, brother. Oh,
Yeah.
brother.
It's turning into a total embarrassment. And the one person that probably doesn't care right now, Johnny Infantino,
Yeah,
Taco Pepe's best friend.
and that's interesting too. Why in the hell you make up a peace prize, give it to the guy who bombed over the weekend, and
Hey, must be the money.
must be my brother.
Yeah, because it's the problem here. The billionaires. We're not going to go into because we're supposed to be a soccer podcast. We're
Yeah,
not going to go into that and all that. All I can say is, right now, I mean, things don't look good. Well, you hope they get better,
I
and
hope so.
hopefully, you hope that this doesn't go out, that this goes off without a hitch. You hope it does, but
Knock on wood. Knock
yeah.
on wood. I'm over here. Knock
And I
on
would,
wood.
yeah, hate to be the ones that be the messenger relaying this stuff, but you know what they say:
Speaking,
don't kill the messenger.
I know. Speaking of which, can we talk about soccer? Because at this time last week, we were enjoying some great Champion League football.
Yes, indeed. We are down now to the final 16, the round
Yes.
of 16.
Yes.
Bodo Glint, we mentioned this last week with the upset.
Winning over aggregate 5-2 against Inter.
Yes. And I'll tell you what, it's turning out to be one of the, it's turning out to be it's an interesting round of 16, needless to say. And the fun starts next week.
Oh, yeah.
We get the 900th renewal of the rivalry
Uh-huh.
between Real Madrid and Manchester City. Tottenham Hotspur takes on Atletico Madrid, the darlings of the Champions League, Bodo Glimt. They
Uh-huh.
take on okay.
Sporting CP.
Yeah,
Sporting
no, Sporting
CP.
Porto. Yeah, Sporting
Sporting.
CP. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Arsenal, they should have an easy I'm trying to go to the picture here. So, yeah, Arsenal.
Against
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Arsenal against Leverkusen. We have PSG taking on Chelsea.
They're the defending
Galatasaray
champion.
versus
They're the defending
Liverpool.
champion, by the way.
What?
PSG, the defending champion.
Yes, this is the
By the way,
rematch.
oh, rematch from the Club World Cup. Yes.
Yes, this is the rematch from the Club World Cup that's going to be taking place there. You got Newcastle taking on Barcelona.
Uh-huh.
Atletico Madrid taking on Tottenham Hotspur.
Uh-huh.
And
Atlanta against Bayern Munich, and Liverpool against
Galatasaray.
Galatasaray, who survived a late surge from Juventus. Remember, they were up 5-2 after the first leg, but Juventus came roaring back, scoring 3 goals to force extra time. But 2 goals in extra time put them in the round of 18.
Round of 16, yes. And all the fun of that
Oh,
begins next.
16.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
fun of that begins next Tuesday. With I
yeah.
believe they got 4 matches on Tuesday, 4 matches on Wednesday. So you know what? We love playing bracket games here at the Musings. We did a bracket, as you know, of the champion of the USL playoffs, obviously. But unfortunately, the winner, our pick for that fell by the wayside. But we picked them right to go to the final, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We're not good at our predictions here, predicting the standings or the brackets.
hey, Hey, we like to have a little bit of fun, and if you wanted to, I don't think Motor City Casino has a sports book, as far as I
No,
know.
yeah, I think all three casinos, Motor City, Greektown, and MG Grand, do have
I know
sports books.
MGM. I think MGM or was it Hollywood? Is that
Casino,
Hollywood's
yeah,
got ESPN, and I believe MGM's got their own sports book. We know that.
I know, and
But
they
I think
have FanDuel.
I don't know if they did they do it in Canada.
I think so. Caesar do have a sports book in Canada. Yeah,
I thought they did. I haven't been to Canada in a while, so I wouldn't
I
know.
have never been to Canada, by the way. To tell
Yeah,
you truth, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's been years, or
I
at
know,
least at least 20 years since I've been to Canada. Last time I
I
went there
know.
was on a trip to Kitchener to see Plymouth Whalers back in the day,
Long time ago. A
long
long.
time ago. A long time ago after the 9/11 attacks, as a matter of fact. So,
Uh,
but needless to say, we got some. We're going to do a little bit of predicting here.
okay.
So Steve, yours is
Yes.
kind of interesting.
Yes.
So
I said it would be Real Madrid against Arsenal, with Arsenal winning the whole thing. They're too good, too powerful this year.
here's the caveat to that, and I'm gonna. But let's go through your whole bracket as a matter of fact here. So let's go through your whole bracket. So right now, your bracket here says that you got Liverpool and PSG going up against each other. Then you got Real Madrid beating Man City. They'll be taking on Bayern Munich. Tottenham. We just mentioned about the struggles that they're having right now in the Premier League.
They could be a lot different in the Champions League. Who knows?
They take on Atletico Madrid.
Hmm.
So, I mean, to be fair, Tottenham had a pretty easy roll to get to the knockout stage
Hmm.
to get themselves a top eight position.
Uh-huh.
And I think they ended up finishing like fourth or something like that.
Uh-huh.
They had a pretty easy roll to get to here.
Uh-huh.
Atletico Madrid, I wouldn't see as a pushover.
Okay.
I'm just saying that. So, but yeah, that's a very interesting pick there. And then of
Uh-huh.
course you got Bodo Glimt, the darlings of the tournament, taking on Arsenal in the next round though. Let me go. Let's go back to Real Madrid. News coming out of there, Rodrigo to be out
Uh-huh.
for the rest of the year.
Oh
ACL injury.
my, injury?
Yep, ACL injury.
Oh shoot.
Kylian Mbappe may not be available for the first leg of this tie against Manchester City. How confident do you feel about that one?
Somewhat confident. You know what I mean?
In other words, you trust in the power of one Vinny Jr. to uh, guide the way, shall we say?
Hopefully. Maybe. Who knows?
So interesting there. And then let's see, as we go further into it, you have Real Madrid against PSG. You have a final that's going to be Arsenal versus Real Madrid.
And
The
I'm
set
saying
piece
Arsenal's gonna win it.
kings, the set
What?
piece kings versus the 15 time or 16 time champions of the premier of the competition.
Ah, yes.
And then who do you? And then you
I
meant
had Arsenal winning 2-0
two
in the
zip,
final in Budapest.
2-0 against Real Madrid in Budapest.
Yes, okay.
This will
So what?
be for this will be the first. This will be a first time for Arsenal winning this competition. They have never won this competition.
Yeah. And
So
I know the joy of watching a Premier League winning Europe. I saw that with Manchester United back in '99 when they scored two injury time goals to lift the cup. I saw Liverpool was down 0-3 in the first half, or came roaring back, winning also in PKs as well. So,
I mean, the one thing that, like I said, the one thing that really boggled me about that was the pick of Tottenham Hotspur, as far as that goes, especially considering their form as of late. So, personally, this is what I'm going to go with here. I've got
yeah,
pretty much. I mean, I think the same way you do, but with the PSG and Liverpool going against each other. PSG moving on to the semis. I get Manchester City. Main thing is with this one, like I said, the injury situation with Real Madrid.
I see.
That's the reason I got Manchester City moving on, and at that point, because I think even though Erling Haaland has been struggling as far as getting the goals as of late, you look at Semenyo and Cherky, and they've been contributing, and it's been helpful for Manchester City. They go up 2-1 or 2-0 on one of these games. You got to, and mind you, these are two-legged ties going into the before the final. Well, the final is obviously single
American
single
call.
elimination,
I know.
winner take all. So
Yeah.
I think City will overcome a very, very, very depleted Real Madrid side. And of course, Real Madrid just lost the other day to Getafe
Oh, better.
in the Spanish Cup. So interesting situations there for Real Madrid.
Uh-huh.
I got them going against Bayern Munich, and then I got Manchester City going to the semifinal, taking on PSG.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, though. Got them going up against Bayern Munich. And of course, we know, Bayern Munich's been running Rutshaw all over the Bundesliga right now, but they've had their battles with Harry Kane in the past.
I
Sometimes they've
know.
been successful. Sometimes they have not. I think they'll be successful this time. On the other side of the bracket, I got Barcelona. I got Barcelona taking on Atletico Madrid in a Spanish quarterfinal there, and then I got Bodo Glimt taking on Arsenal. I have Barcelona winning that quarterfinal and meeting Arsenal in the semifinal. And for my final, it's an all English Premier League final. Man City taking on Arsenal, which will be Pep versus Mikel Arteta, Part 4.
Oh, my.
My feeling is these two are going to split this thing. And I mentioned that Arsenal was not going to win the quadruple.
Mm-hmm.
And
They could win the quadruple.
they could. I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be a split.
Okay.
These two are battling for the Premier League title, as you know. They're going to meet
Uh-huh.
in the Carabao Cup a week from Sunday,
Okay.
or a couple weeks from Sunday. They're going to meet in the
And they
Carabao
have
Cup. Yeah, they're
and
going to
don't
meet.
forget they also have a Premier League match
I
left.
told you about the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the possibility that these two could meet in the FA Cup.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, needless to say, this could be the fourth meeting between these, or this could be the fourth battle between these two clubs.
Versus all the silverware in the
Yeah,
world, especially in England.
for all the silverware in Europe or in England and Europe.
I know.
I think
I
it's
know.
going to be a split.
I believe
I think
you.
Manchester City's going to win two. I don't know which two they're going to end up winning. Won't be the Champions League, but they'll get enough for make it to the final. Of course, it won't be the Champions. I think Arsenal wins the Champions League. I think City's either going to win the FA Cup and the Premier League. I think City will win the FA Cup, Premier League, and give them the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. I'm going to say Arsenal will win 3 of the 4 trophies. They're going to win the
So they're going to get in
FA.
trouble.
Yeah, trouble. Yeah.
What do you?
They're,
Okay. All right.
Europe,
What's the trouble?
Europe,
What's the trouble?
Europe, Europe Premier League, and the FA Cup.
So they'll be the third English team to complete that.
Yeah.
Interesting. You called your shot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Speaking of calling our shots.
Yes, before we get to story, not story, I just want to mention the other teams in England in below the Champions League. Nottingham Forest is in the round of 16 in the Europa League. They dispatched Fernaboghan. I can't read these European names. 4-2. They're in the round 16. Celtic, the team we follow, they're
out.
in the beaten by VFB Stuttgart 4-2, and in the conference champion, the only English team, Crystal Palace, because of a ownership dispute, one day entered the Europa Cup, but they were demoted to conference. They move on, beating Zurich Mokhtar 3-1.
So, all right, let's get into our weekly subject. We took a week off last week because of the USL preview. Let's do another edition of Sorry Not Sorry. I've got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it.
Yes, brother.
So, incident occurred last week. Obviously, or right now, we are in the middle of, well, you might as well say the holy season. One of the holiest rituals.
Ramadan.
One of the holiest rituals that is going on right now is Ramadan. And during Ramadan, players generally will fast during the day. Leagues around the world will take a break once sundown occurs so that the players are able to break their fast.
Okay.
Incident occurred over at Leeds on Saturday, Ellen Road. At sundown, the Manchester City players, two of the Manchester City players, Cherky being one of them, the ref honored a break so that they could, so that they could be able to break their fast. Usually a minute long break.
They stopped the clock, right? They stopped the clock, right?
They stopped the clock to do that. Pep Guardiola shares his thoughts about what happened.
Pep, did you hear when players came over for the break for fast in the first half? Did you hear that there was booing from the crowd?
It's a modern world, right? It will happen in the world right now, today again, right? If we don't respect the religion, respect the diversity, that is the point. If the rule, we didn't say that, if the Premier League said, okay, for the fasting, you can be 1 or 2 minutes, to do that, for the players do it. So, that's where it is, unfortunately.
The players said anything about what happened for the Ramadan break. You've got 4 Muslim players, I think, in the squad today.
Sorry?
Have the players said anything about the booing for the Ramadan break?
It's done. Of course they know it, but done. We did it. They take a little bit vitamins because Cherky and Nuri didn't eat today, and do it a little bit, and that's all. No more than that.
Centre Bugger there for 10:30 p.m. on Sunday evening.
The question is, can they do it or not? Can they do it? Take one break for 1 minute to make that because the Premier League accept? What is the problem? Is a problem? No. So.
I agree with Pep on this. It shouldn't happen. And Leeds fans should not have done that at all. No call for it whatsoever. You should not. This goes on in all the leagues. If they had players of the Muslim faith observing their break or fasting break, and the hydration break afforded to them, they would not be doing this.
Yeah,
they would not be doing this at all. Bad call on the Leeds fans for disappointing.
Yeah.
And
everybody knows. And I live in Hamtramck. We have a lot of people that does observe Ramadan. They took
and we have
a.
players on our squad that that observe Ramadan.
You're right. Yeah. To
Should
boot,
we have, depending on what time that the Open Cup game is, falls on,
yeah.
I think we spring forward this week.
Yes, we spring forward this week. One
Okay, so
hour.
depending on when that was, I'm sure we're gonna have a fasting break for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, this is something that has occurred. You pay respect to it. Bottom
Yes.
line. And grant you, I'm gonna say this. Guess who the owners of Leeds are?
Who are the owner of Lady United?
The same owners as Rangers.
Ugh.
And we know Rangers, we know how Rangers fans are.
Yeah.
MAGA of Scotland, maybe? I digress.
Oh.
Steve, go ahead with yours.
And by the way, Ramadan is only. I don't know how long Ramadan. 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
Mid-March.
Yeah, you're right. And you have to respect their league. If they want to pass, go ahead like that.
Yep.
I'm going to show you my notebook. Now, usually I use this notebook to write down notes for games and all that. Let me show you Saturday night. This is my notebook, if you read my writing, of all the scorers who scored in the game against Youngstown Nighthawk after we won 19-0. Our last regular league game, which was 3 weeks ago, was against Louisville Triumph. This is what my notebook looked like. Notice the difference? I'm reminded by that Simpson episode when Lisa Simpson went in her bad space. She got in trouble in Spoon, and she was just not happy being bossed around teachers, so she decided to steal their teacher's edition. Ho, 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 being bad. Imagine if one of our esteemed broadcasters like Dan Miller, or Brad Galley, or Horiachi sort of misplaced the shot sheet for the highlights and they had to wing it on the fly. What happened in Louisville 3 weeks ago? I was watching the game. I was interested. You were interested. Who scored in a big league game against us against Louisville Triumph? We were just trying to find the player's name and all that. We waited and waited.
They had no announcers for that game, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. And also, the color commentator was recently involved in a drive-by shooting. So
Our condolences go out to them as far as that goes.
He's still alive, but it's gonna. So
Our thoughts go out to them at this time.
You're right. And as you probably know, I'm just wondering, okay, who scored? Because when we do recaps, we have to mention how many goals they scored in the game and how many goals they have scored this
Kind of
season.
like match the pictures with the description.
You're right. And sometimes I have to hear the audio who scored from the announcers and all that. Mostly the Louisville team, you know what I mean? And with our road jersey situation that is, you know what I mean? Now, I don't want to bash him. And I know you're going to be saying, Steve-O, a lot of the teams cannot afford scorers and checkers and all that. We'll do it afterwards. I went to the same game page 3 or 4 times, and guess what? They finally listed the players' names hours before we recorded our meeting 2 weeks ago. And I'm just saying, oh my God. You know what I mean? I know a lot of players do not have the staff squad. You have a cameraman, you have a scoreboard guy, you have maintenance and all that, making sure they're paid for their practice time in that facility. But not showing who scored is just a little ridiculous. I know what a lot of the girls look like. I know what Hannah Crum looked like. Nehemiah Fortier, Kyla Anderson, a lot of players' names. And there are some people who are new this year I don't even know, including the top dog of the match from last game at the City Clubhouse. But honestly, you have to service the fans to make sure who scored and how it's going, how much it's going to affect the playoff. But not doing that, it's kind of lazy. How could we know if Dylan Larkin scored the game-winning goal in overtime? It's just like, and I know most teams, but that's sometimes getting a score because we're like, who scored? That's it. That's all I ask.
A little bit more professionalism would be, good as far as some of these clubs go in the in the MASLW. I can understand it's hard, for some clubs to do that. I mean, we see Mesquite, what was it, Youngstown? They couldn't say the names of the players and all that stuff. FC Berlin was very, forthcoming and very professional with their broadcast this year.
Yeah.
As far as that goes,
As long not calling.
Columbus,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to pay to pay to watch their game. By the way, good segue here. You don't have to pay to watch the game on Saturday night.
No, that game against the Columbus team is available for free
On YouTube, the Detroit City FC YouTube page. And by the way, I think we're going to have a little bit more professionalism. We have to, because we're hosting this damn thing in a couple weeks.
Yes, you're right. I will be down there. It's going to be a busy week next week, considering we have to do the home opener against Brooklyn, a U.S. Open Cup game. I mean, no Musings that week, you know what I mean? And then
I have a bitch. I have a bitch. Or
okay.
not really a sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
Guess what the temperature's supposed to be for Saturday?
50?
65 degrees.
Oh my God.
70% chance of rain. 65 degrees.
Oh my.
Currently, right now, the forecast for Friday, the following Friday, this is in Fenton. Well, I can scroll over to the other one. This is the current forecast for Friday, day before our opener. 43 degrees.
Semi-chilly.
Yeah. Why couldn't we open this week, damn it?
Oh my.
Needless to say, we'll let's hope for an opener first of all, and then we'll definitely be back with you on Saturday for Detroit City FC taking on Columbus. Hopefully, we'll have highlights of Louisville and Lexington in the Blue Grassico. Plus, as I go to my file up here. Plus, we'll have, hopefully, we're hoping to have highlights as well. I believe there's one other match that's going to be taking place on Saturday, and that'll be
and don't forget, Brooklyn against the India 11 to start up on Sunday, the last game of the year. That's the
okay, so Saturday, so Friday we got that. Saturday, Charleston Banner. Oh, never mind. That got moved up to 6 o'clock. Okay, I thought we were going to have an earlier start for that one. Never mind then. So we'll hopefully have highlights of the Blue Grassico on Saturday.
During Around the Sea.
Yeah,
first time we're saying that.
During our, shall we say, USL Today.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. USL Today. Around the Seas for after hours.
Okay.
That's why we just do all highlights.
Okay.
Needless to say that. All right, running a little bit long here, so we'll wrap it up here, and we will see you on Saturday from the clubhouse. For Steve over in Hamtramck.
It's going to be action-packed, including what the new kit looked like for the men. So it's going to be something, be good, and I'll hope we get Friendly into a recovery center for gamblers. I'm worried about Friendly.
He'd be all right.
Okay.
For all you out there, this is Matt Gay over in Fenton saying, keep your feet in the ground, keep reaching for the galaxy, and most of all, be good.